Hey everybody, this is Doa, and today we're going to take a look at a TvP on Jungle Basin. We're going to have Fenix playing for the team Fnatic, spawning as our blue Terran in the top part of the map here. His opponent, in the red color, is going to be iNcontroL, of course, playing for Evil Geniuses, spawning again as our red Protoss in the southern position on Jungle Basin. And Jungle Basin, actually a map we might not see a whole lot of in the future, as rumor has it, it may be gone from the map pool fairly soon on the North American server. Apparently, too, on the EU server, they're trying something out with Jungle Basin. Apparently, they put in a gold expansion somewhere around here that's blocked off by some destructible rocks, so I kind of hope we get a chance to play around with that here on NA as well, as I do think that sounds pretty cool. Especially from a Terran player's perspective. Of course, I do play Terran, so that gold expansion sitting, right here would be pretty great. It's like all siege tanks. But anyway, Fenix, will have to see what he plans on doing. Now, in my experience, Fenix is more of a bio play type of guy. He likes to do a lot of drops and things like that. So I'd imagine that's probably what we're going to see in this game. Again, I haven't seen this replay yet. I prefer to cast replays that I haven't seen, just because it's a little bit more fun for me. That's really the only reason. I do really have to watch the minimap, otherwise I will miss a lot of things. Looks like iNcontroL doing a little bit of harassment here with that probe, and actually, wow, pulling it back just in time, right as those shields go down, not taking a single hit point worth of damage. So a nice job by iNcontroL there, making sure to keep his scout in tip-top shape. Meantime, back at the base of iNcontroL, things progressing fairly normally. No cheese or anything out of the ordinary as well. That probe again pulling back, doing a little bit of damage to this SCV. And again, this is something that Terran players, a lot of them, have to deal with at kind of the higher levels of the game, and even probably, I would say, maybe at the gold and platinum level as well. You'll probably see a lot of Protoss players starting to harass with their probes. And the players that are really good at it can really cause a lot of irritation for some Terran players. iNcontroL actually stealing the gas from Fenix, not wanting Fenix to do any sort of teching early on in the game. Good way to avoid those early Banshees and things like that. Some Marines coming out as well. They're going to go right to work on this gas, so that is kind of a tell right there that Fenix is planning on going something a little bit more gas heavy this game. Meantime, back at the base of iNcontroL, we do see an SCV scouting around a little bit. Fenix is going to take a look at some things, and planning a gas steal, but iNcontroL actually gets it just in time. So iNcontroL taking that gas before Fenix can. If you've watched my Breaking the Caster curse, you've heard me say that I like to steal the gas against every Protoss I come across now, as I really hate dealing with those early Void Rays, early whatever Protoss decides to tech to. And just kind of less sentries early in the game too, so it's kind of nice to steal that gas, but iNcontroL saving it just in time, so nice job there by that. Fenix getting his factory at about the normal time. You don't really need 2 gases to get that. Whoa, a couple too many SCVs in mining here. Let's see, thanks to the new handy-dandy thing that Blizzard included there, we do see that there are actually 4 in gas. Maybe trying to soak a little bit more gas out than 3 could. You're not gonna, the efficiency is going to be quite a bit less, obviously. But, with only having 1 gas, he's trying to get every little ounce that he can. And now I'm sure we'll see him put a refinery down there as soon as possible. I said as soon as possible. There we go. Thank you, Fenix. Putting down that refinery, so he will be teching a little bit more. And here we do see the initial opening from iNcontroL. He is going to go 1 gate robo into a 2nd gateway here, so I suppose 2 gate robo would be another way you could say that as well. Neither player taking their expansions quite yet. Of course, on Jungle Basin, the expansion is fairly easy to take, but the 3rd is the one that's kind of hard to hold, especially for a Protoss and Zerg's Terran with siege tanks can do a little bit better with that. Reactor going down on the barracks, and Tech Lab going down on the factory. I would imagine with the way these buildings are positioned, we're probably going to see those 2 switched fairly soon. A little bit more scouting done for Fenix, he's actually going to see everything here. And a Hellion getting in as well, seeing that Robo Bay and that Gateway warp in. Some probes being pulled off the line to try to box the Fenix in, or the Hellion in, not the Fenix. Fenix is the person driving the Hellion. Well, in spirit anyway, he's telling the Hellion where to go. But the Hellion does get away, and actually nobody dies, not even this probe, so a very pleasant encounter there. Just a couple singed units, nothing wrong with that. And yeah, looks like a Raven coming out for Fenix right now. He is pumping out a lot of Marines. I would imagine we're probably going to see a Tech Lab going down on this factory fairly soon. Usually the good old Raven, Banshee, Marine tank push is very popular against Protoss, as you can use that point defense drone to nullify the Stalkers for a short time, which is quite helpful. We see Fenix putting down a bunker, not wanting to take any early aggression from his Protoss opponent. Always a good idea to throw a bunker down there if you've got any inkling that there will be aggression. We do see an observer coming in for iNcontroL. He's going to see everything that Fenix is planning, and it looks like Fenix researching Cloak as well, so planning on doing some harassment with those Banshees down the line. We do see him putting down his expansion, and we actually see both players expanding. So with that initial opening, both players are going to go for their expos. No reason not to. Jungle Basin is a map that you can hold your second pretty easily on. We see iNcontroL adding on a few more gateways. I would imagine he's probably going to go up to somewhere around maybe 6 or so eventually, depending on if he puts on any more tech structures. Bunker being filled right now. And iNcontroL, in the games that I've seen him go on, he does tend to kind of favor that robo play a little bit more than your average player. So I'm not surprised at all to see him get that robo bay. Although a lot of Protoss players have been going early High Templar now too, just because Terran has been anticipating the Colossus and getting a lot of Vikings early on. We do actually see, as you can see, I've got him selected 2 Forges going down. So iNcontroL deciding to go with some robo play, but adding onto that some very, very quick and aggressive upgrading, which I think is really, really cool. That's actually something that you don't see a lot of players going, and when armies tend to meet head on, as they do tend to do in the late game in Jungle Basin, those upgrades are going to be extremely helpful. Yeah, we see him getting ground armor and ground weapons level 1 already. Probably going to see a Twilight Council going down sometime soon if he does plan on doing more than just a quick 1-1 for his units. But yeah, that's another thing with Jungle Basin too, is that with these kind of lanes that the units can move through, especially if both players end up taking both of these bases, we see a lot of direct confrontation. There's not a lot of flanking and outmaneuvering that can be done on Jungle Basin. It can be done, it's just a little bit more difficult to do that. So upgrades are something that can be very helpful, and I'm glad to see that iNcontroL recognizes that. That's very, very cool to see. Oh, a pre-igniter upgrade for Fenix as well. We do see this Banshee coming down. It's going to be doing a little bit of harassment, I would imagine. And where is it? There it is. Twilight Council for iNcontroL going down. So he will be continuing to getting those very, very quick upgrades. Can also get things like Blink and Zealot Charge as well with that. Here comes the Banshee right now for Fenix. He's going to do a little bit of harassment on those probes, getting 3 of them already. Cloaking right away as he did see that observer. Where is the observer for iNcontroL? I thought I saw one in his base a little bit earlier, but it doesn't look like there is one right now. Actually, this could be really bad for iNcontroL. Losing 4 probes already. Where is the observer iNcontroL? You need to chase away that Banshee. There it is. Okay, so iNcontroL with that observer. Able to chase away that Banshee. Going to be very, very difficult for Fenix to do a lot of significant damage with that. We do see another Banshee coming in, but it looks like it's going to turn around, maybe try to regroup. At this point in the game, it's probably going to be better that those Banshees are going to be part of the pushing force when that does come eventually. You know, if it is going to be some sort of 2 base timing push involving that Raven with the point defense drone. We do see a Zealot Charge already being upgraded by iNcontroL. And there's a lot of neat tricks that Protoss can do against Terran on that map that incorporates that Zealot with leg speed. We do see a little bit of a Hellion drop coming in for Fenix right now. And we're going to keep an eye on that, of course. But one thing you can do, put a pylon right here. Zealots with leg speed right here, and they charge in before the SCVs can really do anything. Get a couple extra kills before the opponent can react. It's kind of nice here. Banshee's not really able to cause a whole lot of damage, but these Fenixes, or these Hellions again, why do I keep calling them Phoenixes, able to get in with the blue flame, roasting about 4 or 5 drones right there, before being picked up and whisked away. Being whisked away, as I was saying. Okay, there, now they have been whisked successfully. These Banshees not able to cause a whole lot of damage. It looks like he's trying to go after this pylon. Any pylon kill you can get on a Protoss opponent, of course, is very, very helpful. We did see Siege Mode just finished just a moment ago. And actually, it looks like Fenix building up quite a few tanks and adding on an armory. So Fenix may be deciding to go kind of new school mech against Protoss. Again, you can't talk about mech versus Protoss without mentioning the Jinro versus MC games that were played recently in GSL. Very, very cool. And one thing I wanted to mention earlier, and I don't think I did get this replay from GosuCoaching.com. Oh, that poor drone. Oh, the humanity. Anyway, I did get this replay from GosuCoaching.com. They have a replay section now, which is awesome because it's a great resource to us as the aspiring players, and also provides a lot of cool games to check out. So big thanks to www.gosucoaching.com for providing us with some awesome replays such as this one. Definitely go check them out. You can get lessons from the pros there at very reasonable rates, in my opinion. So definitely worth checking out. Oh, I'll put the link for their replay site in the description for the video too. I always try to do that. If I don't remember to, definitely let me know. Pylon going down for iNcontroL, but getting taken out as he was warping in some Zealots. Yeah, 2 of those 3 Zealots getting splinched. If I can use the Harry Potter term, of course, in Harry Potter, if you don't teleport all the way, you get splinched, which is a very messy, violent thing. This one Zealot able to survive, not getting splinched himself, but those 2 other Zealots getting a bit splinched. Here comes another Hellion drop for Fenix, and with these nice spread by iNcontroL with those probes, but not really doing any micro afterwards, as we can also see that there are some Banshees trying to do some damage as well, taking out that pylon, but it's really these Hellions that caused quite a bit of damage, killing a lot more probes for iNcontroL. Let's take a look at the income tab as we go back to the Banshees here. Wow, actually iNcontroL 38 to 67, really getting behind in the worker count right now. Only making 1 at the moment. He might want to start chrono boosting some out to kind of stay in this game, as a Fenix is really just tearing him up with these Banshees right now. We do see some Stalkers being warped in with that Observer. They're going to be able to chase off these Banshees. Actually, they're going to be able to take him out. So that menace has finally ended, but iNcontroL quite a bit behind right now. As you can see, his army is considerably smaller and less scary looking than Fenix's is, as we see Fenix take his third. If we take a look at the army tab, Fenix, yeah, 166 to 111. Quite a bit ahead at this point in the game. So Fenix, again, doing a lot of damage. I like the combination of Blue Flame Hellions and the Banshee Harass as well. Nice job to try to pin the Protoss player to the base. Looks like iNcontroL, though, is going to go after an attack. I think he's going for these back rocks here. Might be able to jump right in there. Looks like he is spotted, though, by that SCV. iNcontroL expanding to his third as well. And wow, Fenix actually scanning it at just the right time. Some Hellions coming in to go after this pylon. Of course, Hellions very effective against buildings. I'm just kidding, they're not. Some Zealots coming in to try to defend, but that's not going to really do a whole lot. Looks like iNcontroL, though, is just going to go for it. He's trying to break down these rocks as fast as possible. Fenix pulling back in with all these tanks on the low ground. I think iNcontroL is going to have a very difficult time moving in. Here he comes with his units, taking a couple shots from that siege tank. I believe this Observer did see the siege tank just in time, so he was able to move out without taking a whole lot of damage. Good idea not to move in there by iNcontroL. Let's take a look at the base of Fenix right now. Have a couple factories pushing out a lot of things. We do have some Thors on the way as well, and a 4th command center. Fenix knows that he has quite a bit of map control right now, so he will be able to kind of expand at will at this point in the game, especially with iNcontrol's army being on the other side of the map. We do see a tank being taken out right now by iNcontroL, getting a little bit overeager there. And iNcontroL, taking a look at those upgrades, he's already 2-3. Wow, 2 attack, 3 armor. And I'm curious to see what Fenix has. He's 0-0 for his bio and 0-0 for mech as well. Actually, the mech level, or mech weapons level 1 finishing just now. These Marines getting a little bit out of position. They are going to be taken out very quickly by iNcontroL. A couple of them being taken out. Looks like he was trying to take out this Observer, possibly. Not quite sure why he would want to move those Marines in there as well. And it looks like we have another drop coming in for Fenix. More Blue Flame Hellions being dropped at the natural for iNcontroL, and this is going to cause quite a bit of damage if iNcontroL doesn't react in time to it. And especially, maybe not a lot of damage if Fenix doesn't actually move the Hellions, though. He may be a little bit distracted as the army for iNcontroL is poking right outside his base. I think he is quite safe, though, with that amount of tanks. This drop really not causing much damage at all. The probes were able to get away just in time, and now it's going to be cleaned up. And yeah, this drop more or less abandoned by Fenix. Kind of forgotten. That's a little bit sad. Goodbye, medevac. But luckily for iNcontroL, he didn't take a lot of damage there. Getting his third up and running. He's going to try to take out a few tanks, it looks like, here. And he's going to need to be very careful, though, as Fenix does have quite a bit of army kind of lurking about here.